Yay! So hi everybody. Thank you so much for joining me this random Thursday afternoon for a little impromptu training on how to follow up. I am so blown away by the amount of sponsoring going on in our team right now, the amount of activity, and I love that we can leverage our time by all being here at once to talk about the same thing. I mean, it's just so brilliant what we've been able to do with technology. So for those of you that might be new to trainings of mine, you may not be familiar with my constant message that I incorporate in almost every single training that I do, and that is to try and ingrain into everyone's heads the steps of building a successful network marketing business. When you become an expert at these steps, you will build a phenomenal business with Arbonne. And here's what's so great is that if you're not an expert, you're going to still build your business as you grow if you are truly coachable. And what does that mean to be coachable? It really means doing what your sponsor tells you to do, even if it's outside of your comfort zone. You have to remember that they have your best interest at heart and that they are trying to help you learn from their own mistakes. So what are the steps, these steps that I want to ingrain in everybody's brain? How to build a successful network marketing business. 1, use the products. If you're not using the products and you're trying to grow a business with Arbonne, you can just leave this call right now. We will check in with you later. Using the products is the backbone of building a network marketing business. We are authentically recommending products based on our own personal love and use of them. So please, if you are not using the products, stop giving network marketing a bad name by hoping that other people will buy from you. So that's step number 1. That's like the most fun part, right? Number 2, step 2 to becoming a successful network marketer is inviting. So we're not going to go over how to do this right now because you've all been given a lot of resources on how you need to do this. And if you still feel confused, just go to risingtidenations.com and look for the verbiage there, or pick up the book Go Pro by Eric Worre, or the book Get Over Your Damn Self by Rami Newstat for the verbiage. It will tell you exactly what to say and it will start to become second nature, but you really have to use that verbiage. We are inviting people to either try some products or to take a look at this business. So notice that I did not say we are asking people to buy products or asking people to join our team. We're simply inviting people to take a look, and there's a big difference. So that's step number 2. Step number 3 is in presenting. You've invited. Now you're going to follow through with what you said you were going to do by presenting. You're going to invite them to a Zoom presentation, a one-on-one coffee date, or a phone date, or have them listen to a recorded Discover Arbonne. Yes, you need to record one of yourself doing a Discover Arbonne because people want to see you. And it's not about being perfect. It's about being authentic. So record one of those if you haven't. A spa party, a healthy happy hour, you name it. Dozens of ways to present Arbonne. Or if they just want to try products, then you do a gold bag drop-off or some nutrition samples. And then the 3rd step, and this is what our training is focused on today, and it is the most important step and is the one where most people fall short and why most people quit before they see success. And that is in following up. The fortune is in the follow-up. You'll hear that in every business book in the world. It is, it's the most important step, and you have to keep yourself accountable to it. Without following up professionally or efficiently, and with a mindset of serving others, you are going to get really burnt out on all the work you did in step 1 and step 2. So that's why you want to really become an expert in this step. So let's dive in. A few key things to remember about following up is number 1, it's not about you. We're in the service industry. What does this person need? If you aren't finding out, then you're making it about you and your desire to grow your business. You want to make it about them. What is the pain point in their life? Do they have all the money that they could ever want? Do they have time freedom? Do they have their health? Most people don't. So find out what it is that they really want out of life so that you can see where Arbonne may be a solution to that. Number 2, the purpose of a follow-up is to set up the next exposure. Yes, you heard that right. The purpose of a follow-up is not to close them unless they're clearly ready to dive in, it is to get them to the next exposure, meaning that maybe they need to try the products first. Some will, some won't. I didn't, but some will. Some people will need to get to an in-person event so that they can meet other people and see who else is in the community. Some people will need a three-way call with your upline so that they can get another perspective. Some people want to listen to a recorded Discover Arbonne from somebody maybe in their field or that they feel like they can relate to. So this is your goal for the follow-up, is to set up the next exposure, to set up the next appointment for them to learn more. It will usually take anywhere from about 5 to even 12 exposures before someone will say yes. So that's why you want to follow up immediately, and you want to guide them to the next decision of, okay, yeah, I'd like to learn more. Well, why don't you watch this video? I think you'll relate to this person. Or, yeah, I want to know more about the products. Great. Well, here's a great video about our ingredient policy. You know, you keep following up from exposure to exposure to exposure to help guide them to the decision. And don't be impatient because of what you want. And don't drop the ball. It's not their job to follow up with you. It's your job to move them through the process. I want you, key thing number 3 is I want you to replace the word close with the word open in your vocabulary. The reason why salespeople are generally very bad at network marketing is because they are trained to close people. And that's not what we do. We open people up. We open them up to a new vision for their life. We open them up to a new possibility. We open them up to seeing what we see in them and see what they're capable of and what their future could be like. How do we do this? By making it about them, not about us. And then key thing number 4 is to lead with the business. Now, this has to do with your invite, but also with your follow-up. Why? Because most people are not lying awake at night worried about what kind of protein powder or face wash they're using. They're worried about how they're going to get their credit card debt down, or find more time with their family, or pay for a vacation, or literally just pursue their dreams. So it's your job to keep them focused on this business until they give you a clear, hard no. And then you can move to products. Everyone will be different. Some people cannot fathom starting a business without loving products first. So that's okay. Get them on some products, but keep it your main priority to see if this can be a financial solution for them. And for the people you know in your life now, and for anybody you meet in the world. That's the greatest gift that you can give someone with this business. Doesn't mean don't let them buy products. Obviously, if somebody's like, I want to become a preferred client, great, but keep them on your list and keep talking about the business. Great. Yeah, I can't wait for you to try these products. Also, you got to come to a presentation with me. I know you're going to love so-and-so, or I'm actually doing a presentation on the 30 Days to Healthy Living program. Would love for you to see that too. Keep exposing them and keep exposing them to this business. So let's move forward on what to say. So you are doing yourself and your prospects a huge disservice if you're trying to follow up without using your upline as a resource or studying this verbiage. At first, just use your upline. Include them in a group text, or send screenshots, or get them on the phone with your prospect. Because at first, you're probably just going to want to ask people after they see the presentation, you're going to want to ask them, so what did you think, right? That's such a natural thing that you're going to want to ask. Or you're just going to hop on the phone with them hoping that they're going to go, wow, this is so cool. Like, I want to do this. Where do I sign up? And I'm sorry, if it was that easy, everyone would be doing this. It's not that easy. You have to use your upline. You won't need them for long, but if you don't use them at first, you're going to be building bad habits, and you won't be learning, and you won't be growing, and therefore you won't be able to do the same thing for your future team. The biggest mistake that people in this profession make is that they think one and done. They talk to someone, they get a no, and then they don't revisit the subject with the person again. The majority of people you talk to will need to hear from you multiple times. They need to hear the message multiple times. Failure does not come from getting a no. It comes from failing to follow up with the no's. That's where most people fail in this business. So how do you even start the process of being in a position to keep following up? It's by asking the right questions. The absolute best thing that you can do after presenting, and yes, you must do it right away, is to ask them, what did you like best? That's it. That's all you have to ask. Somebody comes to a presentation, you either call them or text them and say, thank you so much for coming. Your support means so much. What did you like best? That's it. Anything else is you getting in your own head and you attaching to your own ego and your own feelings and your own hopes and your fears. That's all you got to do is ask them, what did you like best? At the end of every exposure, the worst question that you can ask is, what did you think? Asking, and this, I sent some of you this document yesterday, but I'm going to reiterate it now. Asking what your prospect thinks invites the critic. They begin to think of how they would critique your presentation, or they may come up with negative thoughts. Instead, if you ask, what did you like best? You'll get completely different answers. And this question invites positive thoughts. In fact, their answers will give you clues as to their level of interest. If they really like the product, then that'll guide you in a particular direction as you go forward. Or if they like the sound of residual income or flexibility or the people, then you'll know to focus on those things. And guess what? After they answer, what do you need to do? Share their answers with your upline. Why should you know how to respond? Let the people who've been doing this for years show you how to respond. You'll pick it up. Most of the time, I'm going to suggest a 3-way call as soon as possible, because the phone is always better, always better. Yes, we live in a world where we text all the time, but you guys, we're talking about changing our brand for the rest of our lives and putting in 10 to 15 hours a week for the next 2 years of our lives to build a different future for ourselves. Do you really want to have that conversation on text? Get on the phone. So what happens next, depending on their answer, is a really, really great tool that I use all the time. Sorry, I see someone made a chat. I want to make sure that I'm learning. This is so hard. Oh yeah, totally. It is hard, but oh my God, once you trust it, once you trust that this is exactly what we do and this is all that we need to do, then it starts to become like really easy, because then you don't have to think of anything yourself. It's all there. Okay, so I love, love, love this question. This is usually question number 2, depending on their first answer, right? But this is a great, great tool. And it's the scale from 1 to 10. So you want to ask your prospects on a scale from 1 to 10, 1 being not a business for me, but I might be interested in products, or 10 being I'm ready to go. Let's build this bitch, or let's build this business. Where do you see yourself? Oh my God, now I can't share this recording. I'm sorry, I take that back. Where do you see yourself? Ready to go, let's build this business. Where do you see yourself? So again, this is going to help you gauge their level of interest and how much more help they might need to make a decision. You're going to get a lot of 6s and 7s and even 8s, mostly about 7. And that's great. But if someone says 2, that's still not bad. You still will have more work to do to build them up to a higher number, but a 2 still indicates that they have a level of interest. They just might need more exposures to get them ready. So just ask them what you can do to help them to get to a higher number. Their answer will help you identify what's the best follow-up so that you can use to set up the next exposure. Remember, anything over a 1 is good. And there was a great training, I want to say from Ashley Stone, I believe, that Emily recommended to me that she uses a lot, is if you ask someone, where do you see yourself on a scale from 1 to 10, 1 being not for me, would love to try some products, 10 being, oh my God, let's do this, where do you see yourself? If they say 7, what I like to say is, awesome. So do me a favor, and I want you to make a list of the 7 reasons why you would say yes to this and the 3 reasons that you might say no. And share that with me, because then when they have that list, it's really easy to look at that, because on the 7 side, they're going to say, well, time freedom, or time with my family, financial freedom, my health back, personal development, a community. Those might be the reasons they'd say yes. And the 3 would be, what are people going to think? Or I don't have time, or whatever their reason is going to be. There's not usually that many objections. They're all the same. And you ask them, okay, according to that list, like, which do you think is more important? is it more important to have financial freedom, or is it more important to keep worrying about what other people are going to think of you? And in there, they're gonna reveal to you their real hesitations. They don't even believe that it's legitimate, or they actually just don't believe that they're capable of doing it. And you start to pinpoint really what's going on with their objection. So that's a great question. I use that question all the time. And sometimes I go right out of the gate with that question. I ask them what they like best, and then they say whatever they say. And I was like, great. So where do you see yourself on a scale from 1 to 10? I mean, it's just, you're guiding them through. This is an objective business. This is a professional way to go about your business. You're being efficient and helpful. So great. So another thing that you'd want to ask afterwards is how much money? We start asking hypothetical questions based on what you've seen. If you were to get started with this company on a part-time basis, approximately how much money would you need to earn per month in order to make this worth your time? So you just ask them what level of income would be interesting to them. Don't tell them what they can make. I get excited. At first I was excited about $8,000 a month. Now I'm excited about $20,000 a month. Some people might be excited about $50,000 a month. Some people might be excited about $300 a month. So ask them, don't tell them. Listen and find out what they would want and what their dream would be. And then you ask them how many hours. Approximately how many hours could you commit each week to develop that kind of income? And again, you're listening to what they'd be willing to do, not to suggest it. And then ask how many months. How many months would you work those kind of hours in order to develop that kind of income? Find how much time they're willing to invest to get to the level they want to reach. And then the best phrasing of network marketing, you will use this all the time, is if I, would you? If I could show you how to develop an income of whatever their answer to number 3 was per month, working whatever their answer to number 4 was, hours a week, over the course of answer to their number 5, how many months, would you be ready to get started? All you're doing is asking them what their dream is, and then if you could give them their dream, would they take it? Most people will respond positively. I mean, who would not want to reach their dreams, right? So now this is very important, that you need to act professionally as a consultant. Sometimes you're going to get some crazy answers. Sometimes somebody's going to say, well, I want to make $20,000 a month, only working 5 hours a week in 2 months. So you have to remember that you are acting as a consultant for your prospects. And as a consultant, you'll have to be realistic with them. You'll have to tell them that's if that's what they want, then one of those 3 numbers is going to have to change. And it will either take more hours per week, more months, or less money. But something will have to change. You must do this. You're going to gain credibility. And if you're honest and realistic with your prospects, they're going to trust you more. So that's it. And again, use your upline. We're here for you. Send us screenshots, get us on the phone, put us in a group text. And I think I'm really hounding that in because I look back on my business 2 years ago and I really didn't do that. And it's taken me sometimes 9 months or 12 months or more to reach back to some of those prospects to say, you know what, I really didn't know what I was doing in the beginning, but now I'm really seeing success in my business. Would you be open again to coming to learn more? And I'm kind of starting over with people. So we're just trying to help you not have to do that. So a few pointers. What you're looking for in your business are 4 to 5 aces. Aces are people who are going to be coachable, run with this, become independent, really put in the time, have a vision, not get knocked down by rejection. You're really looking for 4 or 5 of those people over the course of your entire business. It's really not that many, right? And you have no idea where they're going to be. And they may even come from someone who you sponsor who then quits. So get it out of your mind that these questions on how to follow up or how to invite are meant to turn anyone into a network marketing professional. These are questions to guide someone to make a decision to change their life. You can show them the way, you can tell them what it's going to take, but it's up to them to do the work. And at first, there's only going to be about 5% of the people that you sponsor who are going to stick with this for more than about 2 months. You know, people who actually do steps 1 through 4, use products, invite, present, follow up consistently for about 10 hours a week for 2 years straight to build the kind of income and the time freedom that this offers. It's the greatest gift in the world. So yes, it's going to take work. Not everyone is going to see that in one conversation or presentation, multiple exposures. Reach back you must, and reach back you will. So here's another thing that I want you to hear. Stop asking people who don't have good work ethic to join your business. You are going to get so tired spending time training and launching and mentoring someone who isn't ready, who isn't already a hard worker, or who isn't willing to become one to build this. You are looking for exceptional people who are willing, no excuses minded, abundance minded, responsible, giving, and inspiring to join your team. You know, we aren't looking around in the world to see who we can get to join our team. We're looking around the world for exceptional people that we can give this gift to. So show them how to do it right. Follow these steps. Use the scripts. Stay consistent. You can totally do it. It's 2 years of your life that will change your life and the lives of others forever. Is it worth it? Yes. So that's the training that I wanted to share today. If anybody has any questions at all, we've got a couple minutes left. I'm happy to try to answer those. I know there's a lot to take in. Yay. Okay, thank you all so much for being on. I'm going to stop the recording. Bye, recording.